Like Indomie is like instant noodles from Indonesia. Like,
It is very big in Nigeria.
and apparently the way she cooks it, so what do? You
And then you add the spice also.
into the water.
And then
Tahu nih, orangku ini gini sih ya.
apa kabar? Aku Titilola.
So we're actually flatmates in this beautiful VG in Germany. And because we're both moving out soon, it's about time we make this video. So I think before we go into the whole conversation and discussion about each other's countries and cultures, things we didn't know, a little introduction. So I'll start. I'm Genesia. I was born and raised in Jakarta, Indonesia. So it's the capital city of Indonesia, and I moved to Germany 4 years ago.
Like I said, I'm Titilola. I'm from Nigeria. I grew up in Lagos. I moved to Germany for my master's in 2018 October, and that's how we met because we became flatmates. And
we became flatmates in August 2020, I think. Before I met you, I never had any friends from Africa, anywhere, like any African country. So you're my first African friend.
Okay, cool. Africa is a continent, not a country.
Yes, it's a continent. Let's start with things that we didn't know about each other's countries and cultures. I think the first one for me, I didn't know Nigeria's population is so big. 206 million.
Well, the most populous African country.
That's crazy. Like, honestly, for me, I thought it was like 40 million.
Yeah.
I don't know why I thought of that, but I just didn't know it was so big.
But somehow, comparing to other countries, I didn't even know we were like that huge, you know. So sometimes also like surprised, like, geez, there's so many Nigerians. But then yeah, I guess it's a good thing.
What they show on TV is mostly just the wildlife and stuff, but that's not even like all of Africa, right? That's only like parts of it where there's a lot of stuff. And I didn't know Lagos was such a huge city as well.
Yeah, well, Lagos is actually kind of a small city. Did I say city? Yeah, Lagos State, yeah. But Lagos is like quite small. I don't know how to compare. Maybe compare Lagos to, it's a place where you make it. It comprises of everybody, like from the different tribes. So you can always find everybody in Lagos, like the Igbo, the Yorubas, the Hausas, like any tribe. Lagos is like the bustling, the
business center.
Yeah, exactly. And it used to be the capital of Nigeria way back.
Oh, it's not?
It's not.
Oh.
It is Abuja now. It is Abuja. But Lagos used to be, you know, Lagos was like, it's a port city, you know, where ships, so it's kind of just the commercial of like Nigeria, that's Lagos. So people just come, the urban migration and all of that. So everybody just comes to Lagos. But Lagos is actually it's just like welcoming, everybody comes to Lagos. But it's also quite small compared to other states. Lagos is small actually, but
I think it's kind of the thing like Jakarta as well. Jakarta is currently the capital city. Everyone just goes there to like have better work and stuff. But then our capital is gonna move soon.
okay.
So I think, but Jakarta is gonna be like the Lagos in like 20 years.
Yeah.
Also, like for example, Australia with Sydney.
Yeah.
Everyone's in Sydney, but like the capital is Canberra, where there's almost nothing. What about the other way around? Did you think Indonesia was big? Or?
Oh yeah, I also didn't know Indonesia was big. You know, I compared to, I'm just like I said before, I'm used to India, China. So like I never knew India has that huge population also. So I was so shocked when I
India
saw
and
like
China.
the top, like even top 5. Like India is also like 4, I think.
No,
or 5.
India is number 2.
Oh sorry, I meant Indonesia. Sorry, I meant Indonesia.
Indonesia is number 4,
is like 4. So
with 270 million.
yeah, so that was like it kind of shocked me because I thought Indonesia is it's not like it's a small population, not small, but like not. No, I would have thought of maybe Malaysia before Indonesia, kind of a thing. So just like that was also like a very big shock to me. Like, oh geez, Indonesia is not a baby. Like it's a big country.
Country. Okay, and the next thing is I was surprised when you told me that Nigeria didn't have stable electricity, even in Lagos, right?
Yeah, sure. It's not stable. Sometimes maybe it's rationed, you know, across the country. It's not just been stable, and that's just one issue we're still having in Nigeria, and hopefully it will be solved soon because power is it's also one of the, is it staple or the background of any economic growing anyway, so
But each house has their own like generator.
Oh yeah, you know, like that's one thing. As you're moving into a house or you're building your house or something, you're also thinking of, oh, I have to get my own generator. So in case the light is taking off, so you just turn on your generator. Like at least I have my second option. No, you also have people also have inverters. So there's also the solars. So like there's just different ways of you just having your electricity in case the main one is taken. Then you have other options. So people have inverters. Almost every homes now. So I know at least some of my colleagues then when I was working, they had inverters. So they were like storing. So once the light is taken, they just convert back to the inverters and. Yeah, or your generator if you don't have an inverter. So.
How often does the electricity switch off?
It depends. Like it's just very, how would I say it? It's not just stable. So sometimes you might have light all through the day. Sometimes maybe middle of the day. Sometimes it could be taken at night. You don't have a definite time. So like, okay, we're going to have light from this time to this time because it's not announced. So there's no announcement. It just happens random. So.
Well, I think it's in Indonesia, like I can't say for all the other smaller cities because I think there also the electricity is unstable or some don't have electricity, but in Jakarta I think it's stable at this point. If there are electricity outages, then normally it's like an accident somewhere, or like they would say that they're gonna do maintenance, but then so you can plan for like this hour to this hour it's gonna be off, but I would say 99% of the time electricity is stable.
Oh, that's cool. That's so cool. We're open for that in Nigeria, like really.
But like that's like the big cities. I can't say the same for the smaller cities. You told me a lot about how festive and how everyone's just dancing. There's always music. It's always lively.
We're happy people in Nigeria. We celebrate almost everything. Births, deaths, marriages, like virtually everything is celebrated. And like especially when it comes to weddings, there's a bride and a groom, and we also like colors kinda. And so like the bride is also having like, or the family of the bride, or the friends, they kind of have a specific color of their attires.
Do they choose it, or is it like a cultural thing?
No, they choose. It's.
Also, you don't have like a white wedding dress.
Oh no, they usually do. Yeah, if you want the white wedding dress, the church type of thing, yeah. But when it comes to like the traditional, the engagement part of it, and then that's when you're like, okay, the color of the day, but for the bride side, maybe like pink. Then the groom also has a different color, and then also the bride's friends might also have like a different color because everybody wants to stand out. So the mother of the groom or the mother of the bride might have a different, so there's just every color for the weddings. That's for the weddings. If you're going to do the church wedding, definitely you want to wear white. Even for burials too sometimes. But for burial, if the person that died is like an elderly person, so maybe from like they pay from like 70, 80 upwards, those kind of deaths are celebrated. The transition of life kind of a thing. Because it's just like it's a life well lived, and then you just want to send forth your dead or the elderly. I don't know, but we just like have to, we are happy people with the state of the economy. We just have to make ourselves happy. So we just try to celebrate everything that we love. The food, there's music, there's dance. Something that just brings everybody together. And like, even though we're going through days, come on, let's just celebrate it. So we celebrate everything.
Would you say that Nigeria as a culture as a whole is pretty extroverted then, with the colors and the celebrations?
I would say we are kind of extroverted in that. We're happy people also. We have to make ourselves happy. It's not the same in Indonesia.
Well, in Indonesia, like we do celebrate a lot of things, but I don't think our festivity is shown through like a lot of dancing or colors.
Oh, okay.
I mean, there's a lot of food. We have a lot of food, but like the celebrations, like I would say weddings are more like formal events. You don't like go all out and party. Well, also depends on the culture. I mean, Indonesia is also very like diverse. There are so many different cultures. But like from my background, like more the Chinese Indonesian side, like our weddings are boring. People just come for the food kind of thing. Like it's like you have like a set event. Some other weddings maybe they put on a stage and some people are just dancing. Like maybe in the smaller cities, then there's like dangdut music and live music. But I think our dancing is also very like this is all we do, and then you just vibe. But like it's it's not like really like dancing.
Ah, okay.
And also with the colors, depending on the culture, you have certain colors that you go to, but it's not like boom.
Oh, really?
Colors. But deaths, we don't celebrate deaths.
At
I mean,
all.
like deaths are sad events. You know?
Of course.
Even if they're old.
Like 90 years old.
Even if they're old, you're sad about it. Some,
Yeah, of course,
some
it's
families
sad.
would want to be like, okay, it's a life well lived, but everyone's crying. You either wear white or black.
Yeah.
If you wear it like red to a funeral, like what is wrong with you? Because like red is like a lucky, happy color. You just don't know.
But you know, all the parties, it's also according to what you have in your pocket, like your pocket size. So if you're very rich, you could do the extravagant stuff. But then if you're not like a medium income, you know, it depends. If you're not so rich, you can't do like something extravagant.
But not about the extravagance, but just about like happiness. Like
yeah. If the person who died is like 90, 100, of course you're also sad losing the person, definitely. But
it's
also
a
like
party.
it's like yeah, but it's also like so like and the person someone living like up to 100 years, that's like okay, we have to like send forth this person in a very good
But I think that's a good mindset though. Like if they lived a long good life.
So like what if the person is like a young person, of course you never celebrate that. Even the parents are not even allowed to know where the person is buried. Yeah, because I lost someone very close also, and at the age of very, very young. But the parents should not know where where the person was buried.
Oh.
That's if you die before your parents. Oh, so that's now, I don't know if it's quite personal or it's a cultural thing, because I know you don't expect to bury your child, or your children, whatever.
For us, normally, like it's depending on the culture or religion, then you either bury them or you cremate them. But the family, especially the parents or like the close family, is always there throughout the whole ceremony.
Cremation is
no matter the
age.
age.
In Nigeria now. Like you buy a plot of land and then bury.
That part depends on the culture as well. Okay, moving on to less dying stuff. I didn't know that Nigeria's official language was English.
Yeah, I was speaking. We're colonized by the British, so everything. Because the Brits. So everything like schools, the official language is like English. But we also have the main, at least they said there are 3 main official languages. So Yoruba, Igbo, and Hausa. But then under each tribe, there's also like different tribes that speak different. So like Yoruba, even though I'm an Ijebu girl, and then there might be someone from Ekiti. If they're speaking like as an Ijebu person, we also have our own dialect. So like someone from Ekiti also speaking his own dialect, I might not understand. But we have like a general language, which is the Yoruba, that we can all understand. So yes, I think Nigeria has about over 250 languages. But the official one that kind of binds everybody together is the English. And then there's also the Pidgin English. Don't forget the Pidgin. That one, like everybody understands the Pidgin. That like brings like the educated, the non-educated, everybody speaks English. Everybody speaks.
How does Pidgin English sound like, for example?
Okay, just like saying how are you? Like how are you? So the Pidgin is like how you day? How you day?
How you day?
How you day?
It's like, are you there? How you day?
Like how you day? Waiting the happen? Like what's going on? Waiting the happen.
But I feel like foreigners can't understand Pidgin English.
The funny thing is, I kind of see some videos where people, even from like some white people, do like videos like maybe they've been to Nigeria and like the Pidgin English. You just kind of get on board of the Pidgin English. But I would say Pidgin is like a Nigerian English. We have to make things as to
Pidgin English.
But I feel like everybody speaks Pidgin. Really, I would just say everybody speaks Pidgin. Like even if we don't all speak, we understand it. Like if someone says how you do, I'm like I did fine.
It's interesting because like Indonesia has like Indonesian as the official language.
Yeah.
So I kind of just expected each country to have like a native language that's the official language.
Like, everybody understands that?
Yeah, everybody understands Indonesian. Like all official documents, all news channels and papers, like the official ones are in Indonesian. But Indonesia also has like thousands of local languages and dialects. So depending on where you go, then for example in Java, then you have the Javanese language. But also in different cities, you have different dialects of the Javanese language. But everyone, like in school, you're taught with Indonesian. So like that's like, I mean, Indonesia was made as a uniting language when we were fighting for independence and stuff. So
okay.
there's a history why it's also an easy language to learn.
Oh, okay. Well, I was English for everybody. The official language.
Well, I mean, for us it's the Dutch for like 350 years.
Oh, okay.
Maybe there lies the difference.
Yeah. So English is official, and then the other dialect,
That's really interesting, actually. And also, another thing is hair. Yes, coily hair. So many things I didn't know about coily hair.
Yeah.
And also so many things you didn't know about straight Asian hair.
I just kind of know like most Asians have long straight hair. And then like coily hair in
Yeah, of course. In Indonesia, I mean, like, because we're island countries, like everyone's really different, but you have like hair like mine, and then you have the more curly one, like curls but not coils. And then if you go to East Indonesia, like Papua, like it's really coily hair as well.
But you know, of course, the African hair is like a bit coily and very coarse. So we kind of switch it up every time. So I know when I came to Germany, I had like braids with the extension.
Yeah,
I think the long braids.
The first time I met you, like when I was looking at this video, I think you had those long braids.
Yeah, I think I had braids.
And then like in 2 days or something, you had a completely different hair. I'm like, did she just style it? And then like you had suddenly short hair, and I'm like, oh yeah, those are all wigs or extensions. I'm like, I thought those were real hair this whole time.
I remember I had the same someone like in my class too. Like when I came to Germany too, I had like braids, and then after like I came October, then I think December I loosened it, and then I was wearing wig.
Yeah.
And then like a straight wig, and then my class was like, oh yeah, it's nice. We were like, oh, what happened? So she thought I straightened that. Oh no, she was just kind of confused. So we also wear wigs a lot. Like for me, I don't like wigs, and I also don't really like combing out my natural hair. It's really difficult for me maintaining my hair because you have to do a lot of moisturizing, conditioning, you know, so many products to at least soften it, to comb it and everything. So I just decided to go lock my hair.
This is locking, right?
So this is my natural hair, but I just kind of did the lock. So it's when I come to Germany, I'm like, okay, this is like the easiest hairstyle for me that I could manage or maintain. You know, so for blacks I think for blacks generally, we always switch up our hairstyle because we wear wigs a lot. You could also put your hair in dreads like mine, or just have braids of different types, you know, different extensions. Like there are so many hairstyles that's available for the black hair. So we always switch things up every time. So today we might be yellow. Oh no, not yellow. Or blonde. Tomorrow might be red. You know, whatever, black. You could do anything to the hair, and it's all good. You know, so
I think the biggest question, like when I see it or my friends see it, like how do you wash your hair? How often? Like for example, you're in dreads, like
I wash my once in 2 weeks. Yeah.
I cannot imagine that because like your hair is like super dry, right? You said, and you have to put essential oils and everything. My hair is really oily, so I have to wash maximum like once every 2 days or every day, because otherwise it's just too oily and it looks disgusting.
Yeah, but you know it's also quite heavy. You know, like because it's like an extension with your hair, so it's heavy already. It's heavy, so you can imagine washing that every day.
But I still can't imagine how you wash it and it still stays in like the locks or the braids, because like when I wash my hair, like all the strands are I don't even comb my hair. I combed it just now for the first time in I don't know how many months. But it's just straight, you know?
Before I locked my hair, if with my hair in a natural state, if I don't comb it naturally falls into locks. Because it's just
super curly.
Yeah, so you have to detangle your hair. Or if you accept, okay, I want to go into locks, so I'm not combing my hair, then it's a freeform locks. It just locks on its own, and then it just grows out like that, and then you just have long, like Bob Marley kind of.
Bob Marley.
No, there's Bob Marley. No, there's Bob Marley. So like the locks kind of a thing. So. But I think for the black hair, because of the state of our hair, it's very coarse and very coily. So just like to maintain the hair also, because you can't be combing it every day. It's a lot. It's a lot to maintain. But it's just like if you have your hair in afro or in whatever state, yeah. So we can always do different things to our hair, and we don't wash it every day.
And then the next big thing in culture is food. I see you cooking a lot with like yam and also lots of spices. Like it's whenever she cooks, it's just bread. everything is red. It's
Yeah,
like
because of the
paprika,
different
tomato,
Yeah,
peppers.
paprika. Like if I was in Nigeria, I would have bought maybe the tatache, the atarudo. Oh, sorry, I don't know the English of. Oh, I think the.
I'll act like I know what you're talking about.
Peppers or different things, yeah.
Ah,
Or just like the different combination of different peppers. So you just blend them together, or you blend them all, and then you just have the soup. Like as Yorubas, we like spice. We like food being very spicy. You know, like. You should be eating it and you're like, oh gosh, you're sweating and all of those things. But Yorubas like spicy food, so and I'm a Yoruba girl, so the food we have, we like, okay, we have yam, there's plantain.
Plantain is amazing. Fried plantain
Yeah,
is so
fried
good.
plantain.
Because I like bananas in
Yeah,
general.
it's a
But
big
you don't like
banana.
bananas.
I don't like fruit generally. I don't know, I'm so weird like that. I don't like fruit. I don't like. I used to like banana. Maybe the banana here.
Maybe the banana. Yeah, the bananas here are not as sweet. But talking about spice, I think that's one thing that we both have in common. Like in Indonesia also. Well, we have a lot of dishes, but from my background, like my parents' families are from Sumatra, so like Medan and Palembang, which is like spicy food as well. In Java, it's mostly a lot of sweet things, but in Sumatra, there's a lot more spicy things. And so coming to Germany, with the spiciness background, when we eat German food, even when they say it's super scharf, it's like, a little bit, and Germans are already like dying.
Yeah.
So it's like when you cook and then I try your food, it's like, oh, this is good spicy.
I remember I had a German friend. I went to the African shop and I bought the Scotch bonnet, the habanero. So I bought it from the African shop and I'm like, oh, don't touch that. It's very spicy. And then he was so curious and then he ate a bit. And I'm like, jeez. And then he turned pink.
Oh no!
I told you. This thing is it's not like, I understand I was just very inquisitive, but I'm like, no, I told you this is very, very spicy. You don't just eat it raw. Yeah, but now like, so that was just a very funny stuff that happened. I'm like, geez, you turned pink already?
Yeah. And I think, speaking of food, I was really surprised when you first cooked Indomie.
Oh, yeah.
And you said that it was a big thing in Nigeria.
Yeah, we love Indomie.
Like Indomie is like instant noodles from Indonesia. I think it's one of our biggest exports actually, and apparently it's really big. Like
it is very big in Nigeria. Everything noodles is Indomie. Even if it's not made by Indomie, we just like Indomie. I'm just thinking of exactly. So everything is Indomie noodles, like Indomie. So the description on the pack is like, that's something
that's something I was so surprised. Like, okay, she was cooking Indomie, and I'm like, wow, it's like Indomie, but like with Africa, like it's the African version. It's a different packaging. We can show it after this, but it's like I was so interested, and then she started cooking it, and I expected it to be cooked how I normally cook it. But no, and apparently the way she cooks it. So what do? You
just like you boil water, or you have water on fire, and then you add
put the noodles
in, and then you add the spice also
into the water,
and then you cook it together, and then it gets dry, and then you eat it.
And then you wait for the water to dry.
But then when she was making it, I think you add it after the noodles are soft.
So how it's supposed to be done is you boil water, you put the noodles in. Until there, it's still okay, but you put the sauce on the plate, and then after the noodles are soft, you drain the water and then put the noodles into the sauce and mix it, so that. If we do that, we put the sauce into the water only if it's the soup version. But then you don't wait for it to evaporate. You eat it with the soup because the taste is like it's a soup noodle. But like if it's fried, which is in your case it's the fried version, you put the sauce in.
It's not even really fried. It's just like once water is boiling, you just have the noodles and then you have the spice. The way we're just used to making noodles is just like you boil your water, you add the noodles, and then you add your spice, and then cook it all together. Once it's dry,
wait for the water to dry.
Yeah, but then I was also surprised because that's the direction on our pack.
Yeah, so it's like it's not her fault. It's the packaging's fault or it's the company's fault. But I guess Indomie is also localized to each country.
Exactly.
Also, the flavors are different.
It could be.
And also, so.
Because I can't imagine.
Something new.
I can't actually imagine just making my noodles soft and then adding the spice and eating it like that.
That's how you're supposed to make noodles.
That's what I'm saying. I can't imagine eating my Indomie that way because I feel maybe with the different spice that they put with the Indomie I'm used to, I don't think I can actually eat it raw. So maybe extent of it just feel like I need to cook this with the, so it's just going to, like the taste is just going to infuse, like just going to, I don't know.
But then it's so mushy because you wait for the water to dry. It's like
no, it depends. You don't have to make it very. You could gauge it. You know, like maybe when we cook in Nigeria, we don't have a measurement. So so it's a millimeter, but I just like gauge it. Okay, I think this would be enough. Or you can also drain the water if you feel. You don't have to make it very soggy. But no, I don't like my noodles soggy. So I usually start with like a little water, and then like I just get like, oh, this water might not be enough to cook it, to make it soft. Then I add a bit of water. But before that, I would have added my spice in it. Whatever, we don't really drain. I don't know. But if you're making like I know one of my friends too, when he's making noodles, it cooks the noodles first, like boils it, but not extremely, just it's still a bit hard, and then he drains it, and then he fries then he cut the vegetables, then fry that, then add the noodles to it with the spice and everything. That's when you're making like different extravagant, or you're making it yours, or you just want to have some vegetables with your noodles, and not eat the noodles raw, not raw, but like in that state.
Yeah. I mean, we also add toppings to it, but like just the fact that you put the sauce into the water.
Yeah, I guess so. I guess I was right, because when she came into the store, I was like, oh wait, how do I make this? Of course, the language was not in English, so I was like, okay, I mix my spice separately, and then
So I hope you learned as much as we did about Nigeria and Indonesia. Culture shocks, differences, really fun stuff actually.
Yeah.
So we'll see you in the next video.
Yay.
Yeah, thank you for being here. You're not shy at all.
I am. I'm kind of shy.
We're shy, says the girl doing this on camera. How do I say I'm Indonesia?
Orukomini.
Oh gosh, that's too hard.
It's not. Orukomini. It's just 3 words.
What? Oh.
Orukomini, Indonesia.
Okay. Can you also say how are you is apa kabar?
Apa kabar?
Apa kabar. That's how are you.
Apa.
Apa.